Hey guys, Sixenm here, and I'm back with another one of my deck guides and deck techs. Now, one of the strongest cards in Standard, well, one of the most defining cards of Standard right now is Cthulhu, right? It's been used in a multitude of types of decks and is a great finisher. Now, the power of the card is that, yeah, obviously the battle cry can do like massive amounts of damage, and the battle cry can kill an enemy from 20 health and clear an enemy's board or whatever, and that takes all the Cthulhu disciples to buff up Cthulhu, right? But I was thinking, what if I mash the Cthulhu deck with Reno, right? Because I originally got an idea like this from Dice, and this was when he put his first iteration of Cthulhu Warrior up, and this is that list that he was playing on stream, right? And basically it has 2 Beckoner of Evil, 2 Disciple of Cthulhu, and Crazed Worshipper, and those are the only Cthulhu buff cards he uses to abuse the fact that all of these Cthulhu synergies, right? And that's because he put it in the shell of such a controlling deck that he never needed to cast the synergy cards too early, and he always did get to 10 by the time he needed it, right? So now I took that idea into Mage, and this is the list, but I'm going to show you how I fleshed out and built the deck. Just to go with my deck building guide, because people have been asking me to do this more often. So here we go. Mage custom deck. Alright. Firstly, sorry for the lag. Firstly, obviously we need to add Cthulhu. I don't know why it's lagging. Right. Firstly, we need to add Cthulhu, and we need to add Reno. Those are the two reasons we're playing this deck, right? So Cthulhu and Reno. Now, everything's a one-off, and I need to start by adding the key Cthulhu buff cards, like the best ones, right? The best ones are Beckoner of Evil, just a nice 2-drop in general, right? Disciple of Cthulhu, again, just mini SI7 agent in any class, a very good card. I needed Cthulhu's Chosen. Now the reason why this is in the deck, because the deck originally lacked quite a bit of 4-drops, so Cthulhu's Chosen had to be put in the deck. And some people might have thought Twilight Elder would be in the deck, but I found out that he was really slow, and you usually get one buff off him, and one buff's not enough in this deck. And also, of course, the Cult Sorcerer. Now, a lot of people use this deck just in average tempo rogue, but in this deck she can actually buff Cthulhu, right? And of course, to go with all those synergies, Mr. Bran Bronzebeard. Bran Bronzebeard is like one of the best cards in Standard right now. He just does literally everything. Alright, so this is the shell of the Cthulhu buffs that I chose to use. And obviously that if we're playing Cthulhu, we have to play, Standard's version of Dr. 7, the Twin Emperors. Right, so this is the Cthulhu part, and now we need to worry about the Reno Jackson part, like getting to Reno. And that's like, Reno is what wins you the aggro matchups, right? So, let's go through the Mage cards. Yes, first I added one Forbidden Flame. Card is just super versatile. It can kill the 2-drop on 2, it can kill a 6-drop on 6. You know, you just, and even late game you can turn this into something else, but I'll get to that later. Okay, we have Arcane Blast because one mana removal spell is just good. Notably, I'm skipping Mana Worm because this deck doesn't have a low enough tempo curve to abuse Mana Worm, so usually Mana Worm stays a 1-3 for the longest time. Now we have Frostbolt. Every Mage deck has to have a Frostbolt. We have an Arcane Intellect, and I'm skipping Sorcerer's Apprentice. And some might think that's wrong later when I add more cards, but the thing with Sorcerer's Apprentice is I don't go off with Sorcerer's Apprentice. This isn't a tempo Mage deck, right? This is a late game Mage deck, which is also the reason why I'm skipping Flamewaker for something else. Now the Flamewaker effect is very good against aggro, it is very good even if you don't have too many spells. But I found that if I wanted some one of these effects on 3 instantly, then I played another card, and by not needing to add Flamewaker, I didn't need to add Arcane Missiles as well. Alright, we added a Forgotten Torch. Originally, we didn't have this in the deck, but Standard has so many 3 health minions right now, and Forgotten Torch deals with something on 3 and maybe deals with something later in the game, or turns itself into a fireball. Alright, we need an Ice Block because Ice Block and Reno is crazy. Go from 30 to 1, then 1 back to 30, and then the hunter's just like, alright, I'm done with this shit, and he just concedes. We need a skipped Frost Nova because Frost Nova just delays. It's the best freeze effect, or the best stalling effect that Mage does have. And Twilight Flamecaller is what I'm having in place of the Flamewaker. Now I tested with the Flamewaker. The Flamewaker was okay. It was a bit slow when I needed the effect the most. The Twilight Flamecaller, it deals with Paladins, it deals with Hunters, it deals with Zoo. This card is pretty good in this style of deck. Right. Okay, we have a Fireball, we have Polymorph, we need removal. That's just based on removal. Right now I skipped Cone of Cold because Cone of Cold in this meta right now, it's really good against some matchups. It's a very bad, Frost Lance in some other matchups, and in some you just, you don't even want the effect at all. Or the board is way too full. Water Ellie, we have Water Ellie in the deck, and that's because we need it for curve. 4 mana, we need it for curve, right? Everything, it's just, if you can drop it on turn 4, your game goes so much better. Now we have a Cavalus Tome. This is just to add more resources to the deck. The deck really needs card draw, right? Or it just needs to use cards. We have a Conjurer, because Conjurer's, again, it's insane with the brand, it's insane with, it's got insane synergies. We have Blizzard, Flame Strike, we need clears, and no, I'm not playing a Faceless Summoner. Now, a lot of people may think that's wrong, but the later drops of this deck, there's a lot already with Cthulhu and the Emperors, but we do play Antonidas. Right, now going on to the neutral minions. What did I have? Pretty sure I skipped something in the Mage class, but okay. Firstly, we have. Did I have? I was just gonna go as I remember them there. Let's start with the legendaries. Okay, now a lot of people would be like, oh my god, this is the deck for Yogg. Right, you're stalling for, Cthulhu already and, whatever. But Yogg is too much mana and too much inconsistency, and we're trying to win with this deck, right? This deck is a lot of fun on its own. You don't need to add, the 5% chance of winning and 95% chance of losing card. If you want to buy a lottery ticket, go ahead and buy a lottery ticket. Now we have Alexstrasza. It's just a mini Reno, And sometimes this deck can play out like a freeze mage. And dropping this on turn 9 to an opponent that's unsuspecting, dealing 15 to the face, turning on the engines and throwing your fireballs and your roaring torches and then just ending the game. So that's why that's in the deck. What else was in the deck? Oh, we're on 7 months. Originally also, Emperor was in the deck. I found that this deck just didn't need Emperor. Now it sounds weird, but with all this late game and you want to reduce the spells or whatever, but like this card just was too slow, and I replaced it with a Forgotten Torch. Right now we also don't have Black Knight. We also don't have Sylvanas. Now I would recommend, if the meta is heavy with warriors, druids, all that sort of jazz, that you add in a Blood Knight for something. And Sylvanas is just a good card. In this deck, we just can't afford to play Sylvanas on 6. Right? Now, where is it? Right, now there's Harrison. One of this deck's worst matchups is Shaman. And it also gets rogues, and it also gets warriors. It's just Harrison in Reno decks, and it also draws you to the cards you need. That's why Harrison is in the deck. There's also Azure Drake, in any mage deck, any tempo mage deck, any spell-based mage deck, you want this. Spell power is good, body is good, draws a card, everything, does everything you need. 4 mana. Is there anything else I added for 4 mana? No. Well, let's go to. Well, of course, if you're playing Frost Nova, you're playing Doomsayer. That's not a question. Frost Nova, Doomsayer, Blizzard Doomsayer, all that jazz. And there's also, where is it? Oh, Blood Mage, Thalanos. Now the reason Thalanos is in the deck is because you need card draw. This deck needs card draw. Oh, now I remember the last card. Acolyte of Pain. Right? This deck needs card draw. Now we have the card draw sorted. We have early game-ish sorted, right? We have removal in these. We have some early bodies that we can throw down cold. It shores up the early game, and sometimes we just drop Doomsayer on turn 2 or 3, and the enemy just, they just can't do anything, right? Then we have our engine. We're getting to Cthulhu. Now, one of the sweet things about this deck is when you're playing the cards, no one just, you're playing Arcane Intellect on 3, you're pinging down their guys, they're like, oh my god, this guy's a freeze mage, I can play around this so easily, I'm gonna hold all my heals, I'm gonna do this. The warriors start armoring up on turns 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you drop one of the, you drop Beckoner of Evil, and they're like, wait, what's going on? And a lot of people don't realize this is a Reno deck. Okay, because you play a lot of cards that is either in a Cthulhu deck or is in a tempo mage deck. So, you roll off and Hunter gets you down to 2 health, and then they're just like, I got you next turn, turn 8. I was like, I'm not gonna even play anything after they played like, Call of the Wild, the Make 3 companions one. But you just drop Reno, you drop Frost Nova, they can't do anything, you wipe their board, then you go on the offense. So this deck is quite powerful in that respect. Like, no one knows what's coming yet. Okay, I can't promise that if this deck does get popular. But yes, that's how the deck was built, and we're going to go to the games. Again, I did explain why there's a lot of cards that you'd expect in the deck to be missing, mostly the Tempo Mage packet with Flamewaker, Sorcerer's Apprentice, and Mana Worm, and then there's also the legendaries, Sylvanas, Emperor, Black Knight, and maybe even Justice. But this is the deck, and last season Legend, because it just turned into new season. Last season it went 8-5 in Legend, which is okay. It lost to Face Charm. Okay, of course, right? But like, it lost to Face Charm in 3 out of 5 games, which is okay. It's not terrible of a matchup. One of those games was like I didn't draw any early game, and Emperor was still in the deck. But you know, season started and I've been climbing with the deck, so you know it's pretty decent. And I'm just gonna show you some games, and hopefully you agree or you try it out. I mean, I guess it's pretty expensive, but yeah. Alright, I'll see you in the games. Alright, now let's get some games in. Start of the new season, all the good players should be around this rank right now. Yeah, if you get the reference for the name, I'd suggest you don't try and imagine that. Yeah, but yeah, deck is quite grindy, so I'm not sure how many games I'm going to be posting with the guide. It might just be 1, might be 2, depends on how long this game goes and how fast the opponent is. Right now the game might last too long. We have Disciple though. If this is Evolve, we have a better shots. We have Harrison. And Doomhammer, draw the opponent 4 cards, deal 4 life. I mean 6 cards. Oh, Forbidden Flame's pretty good as well. We're gonna Disciple on 3.
The light protects me.
I'm gonna ping this, we're gonna Disciple on 3. Killing whatever, and then we're gonna tome for 4 because usually 4 kills whatever they have. If this is a totem golem, then we have to ping this one down. Because we can just deal with the totem golem after that. What? Oh, abusive. Alright, so I'm gonna ping this one down. Just more damage, right? And I want him to... Oh. Yeah, I want him to trade into this. Next turn if he trades here, I think it's ping and flame. If he trades here, just flame. It's the same thing. So I'm just gonna flame. We have Reno. We have the winning card. Oh, we might have to tome next turn, which is a little bit awkward because you don't really want to spend a turn doing nothing in this matchup. Oh, we might ping and brand. Ping and brand doesn't sound too bad. I mean, he has to commit to kill it, otherwise he might. This might, you know, wreck him. We can't. If he Doomhammers, we can't really do anything about it this turn. We'll have to destroy it the turn after, because we probably need to Reno next turn. No, that's fine, I guess. Now I'm just gonna hex. I need to hex this. I need to ping it. Oh, I should have done it the other way around. But the 2-2 is the same as the 2-3 in this matchup. Ignore me, Oh god. We Doomhammers now. Alright. Maybe I can tome.
The light protects me.
Maybe I can get away with it. Yes, I just fireballed the totem golem. But a Doomhammer, a lava shot. Alright, Doomhammer. There's interesting points, and I can be very greedy. I overdraw. No, I'm just gonna Reno. I'm gonna Reno and Thalanos just so I can empty my hand, and then I'm gonna draw 4 cards next turn.
We're gonna be rich.
We still have Alexstrasza and Ice Block, so you have 2 ways to live, 2 more turns basically.
Don't worry, loves.
Right.
The cavalry's here.
It feels like he's had infinite of these cards, right? But Guess it's good for me. I'm just gonna Harrison drives. Ooh, there it is. Extra. I'm gonna kill the horse. I should. I don't know about killing the totem. 4 cards it is. Oh, this is nice. I get a ping. Yeah, I've got Twin Emperors next turn. Now, yes, this is the power of the deck, right? This is not a good matchup, but sometimes Reno just wins you unwinnable matchups. There's no matchup that you can't win with the Reno and Cthulhu, right?
Get in there and fight, maggot.
And he's just going, face is the place for him. Face is definitely the place. I imagine he concedes to not Mage, but to this.
Feast of souls begins now.
I imagine he concedes, right? Alright, okay, I guess there's gonna be a second game. Cause yeah. Yeah. That was a really short game. Alright, yeah, I'll do another one. I'll see you in game 2. Okay, queuing up. Back at it. Again. Second match. I want to display this deck against a more grindy matchup. Alright, Druid. This is a good way to display the power of this deck. This deck is favored against Druid. I would say by quite a bit, because after their initial Cthulhu, they can't really do anything, right? It's only scary if they ramp really hard. I might keep the Acolyte because it just draws, but in this match, draws 1 card. No, it's just like a 3 mana cycle. But okay, might play an early brand as well. I mean, they have to swipe to remove it, right? Could they ramp on turn 2? I'm just gonna play with brand on turn 2. I mean, they can Wrath, Hero Power, or they can swipe. Those are the 2 options there. Or they could double, you know, do a 2 damage thing. Well, it's Beast Druid. This is also fine. And now, I don't really want this. This is gonna become a 4-7 with the Beast card, right? 4-5. There's no real good way to do this, but I'm just gonna play the Disciple. Right, he trades here, then we can pick it up with the Hero Powers, and he's using his whole turn to Hero Power. Living Roots, it's fine. It's fine. Twilight Flame Caller says hi. We have to remove the Druid Legendary on site. Doesn't even matter if it just takes away our whole turn, or like just dilutes from our plan. That thing just can't live. I mean, that thing gives so much value. But yeah, here we go. Fandral, Wrath is fine. Wrath Hero Power. Oh, is he Wrath for 2, 3? Okay, Wrath for 3. That's fine. I'm going to Ethel Conjurer. Yeah. Conjurer, because even though it trades, we have late game. We have the late game like locked. It's a lock, friends. Kinda want to take the Arcane Explosion. The FG is really good as well. It's not Arcane Missiles. Arcane Missiles, it's not. This is not the deck for Arcane Missiles. Arcane Explosion does 2. Yeah. I mean, that pushed it over the line for me. I mean, if he just Wraths this, he just clear his board, right? If he swipes this, he just clear his board. He might think he's pushing damage, but it's a very good card. Can deal 3 damage to 1 person.
Where shall I strike?
Alright, he's pushing damage. It's very scary, because this deck does have Savage rolls.
We hunger for vengeance.
I mean, I think I still have to trade here. Or do I? I can get greedy because I have a Reno, mate. Right? Let's do it.
I'll get 'em.
Again, this is quite the greedy play. I think it's worth it though. Dealing 6 to the face with no real good way to heal for them. Just gonna swipe, yeah, it's fine, just ping. 2 mana. Spin Emperors. Okay, Rotten Torch. It's the same dealio. Could play Ran. He's used a lot of removal. He could charge another 4/4 at it, but that's not the worst. We can play a 7 mana Jewel of the Claw.
Where shall I
Charge him. At the face. I would highly suggest you not face it like that. I might Fireball, but then we don't have a good way to deal with Fandral. Don't want to leave it up. Can't leave it up. I don't really want to play Emperor. Oh. Alright, this is awkward. 7 mana 4/6 taunt, but sometimes it's amazing, like last game. Sometimes it's a 4 mana, 7 mana 4/6 taunt, which is in this situation fine. Right?
feast of soul?
This is the saddest thing you see. It's just like, where did the other half of the card go? But then again, this is very overpowered for just this card in general. Maybe trade. I'm much more happy. Right now, I'm kind of scared. I'm on 6. I can Flame Strike. I'm gonna Flame Strike. This is so greedy, but I'm gonna Flame Strike. Like, if I play Reno this turn, I don't have a good follow-up, right? Like, these 2 minions still on the board.
Unleash the beast.
We are swiping ones.
Elune, guide my land.
Alright, it's fine. We're just gonna Reno and Fireball this. And that should be the game, right? I'd be surprised if this was not the game.
Gonna be rich.
We're gonna be rich! Like, what can he do? Fandral with 1 card. This deck doesn't run too many high end. Some lists run the Ancient of War.
Pay attention, class.
Yeah, this is the lower end one. Lower one. He did have Fandral the whole time. I guess he really just wanted to push the base damage. We have to deal with Fandral. We're gonna Blizzard, hit it, and yeah. Oh, that's even, that makes it even better.
Let's make magic.
It's hard to imagine he comes back. That's right. I'd rather him have a 1/1 than draw an extra card because, you know, Raven Idol and such. At least I know this list. This is Show's list. Yeah. Reno Jackson, friends. Win streak a bonus star. Right, maybe there's one more. You'll find out in the next few seconds. We'll see. Right. So I was about to just call it, but then I kind of got the urge to keep recording. I'm just gonna keep Reno because this deck does have a lot of high end that you don't want to draw, and Reno is the best card in the matchup. That's a okay start. See, full face because he's not Totem Shaman if he plays Finley so early. Yeah, okay, I didn't expect that. You got me off guard. This is fine. Forbidden Flame turn 2. Coin out the Chosen on turn 3. What's the plan? The reason we do that is, yeah, takes out a Finley and a Wolf. Like, this doesn't do anything by itself. I'd have to play this and Arcane Blast, and it just doesn't trade favorably with the board. You have Ice Block as well. I probably want to play this early, possibly. The only thing we're missing is a clear now. No trades one. Or we just Lightning Bolts. Right, that's fine. Trades it. Right now, the Chosen does work, right? I guess you could just heal this next turn, but work is work, as Rihanna's saying. Kind of wanted to showcase a more grindy matchup. I guess it's not really possible. I might, as weird as it sounds, I might just take 7 here. I want to develop the Ice Block. I'm gonna polymorph the next turn. I just didn't want him to heal the wolf. Right, then I have to deal with a 1-1 and a 2-3. As opposed to me just being able to polymorph and then ping next turn. He heals his face. This is fine. I take 7 on 119. It doesn't even attack. Alright, this is exceptional gameplay here. Guess my line was the correct line. Alright, Shaman chose lesser heal, chooses not to attack, chooses to play this after. Okay. 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 Now, you might be thinking, like, what's going on, right? That's also what I'm thinking. I'm gonna clear this. I'm gonna ping yeah, I'm gonna ping that just to force him to heal it. Or it's not clear, he just might trade, but it's forcing the trade. And I hope he plays Doomhammer, right? I hope there's a Doomhammer on the cards. Alright, never mind. Oh, I want to draw like a Fireball. I do get a free kill though. I'll leave that to next turn. Oh, yeah. Now, with the way this guy has played, he might just trade the Fire Ellie into here to deny me another draw. At which point, he's gonna Lightning Bolt it? Alright. A deal, friends. Deal. I want to deal with the Fire Ellie first, if possible, but it's not really possible, so I'm just gonna freeze it. I want to tome next turn, unless he plays Doomhammer, right? Because if he Doomhammers, this is a 4-3, and then he hacks as well. Guess that's fine. He can heal this if he wants. It's still dying to this Emperor. Alright. This is just trading off in the board. Healing the Fire Ellie. I'm gonna tome. Because opening a bag of gifts is always nice. It's kind of perfect. Could have wrote it better myself. Forbidden Flame would have also been good. I have double Ice Block. Jeez. I'm just gonna delay on Reno, right? I'm gonna play Antonitis and an Ice Block. Look, he's gonna pop it next turn. That's the plan. gonna play this. Gonna ping this because if he plays an overload, I can't deal with it, right? So I'm gonna pass. He's gonna pop my block, or try to. And I'm gonna play another block with Antonius. That's the grand plan. And what's the play, friend? It's not popping the block. That is definitely not popping the block. Wow, I can just play mind games with this guy. Kind of feel sorry for him. Little does he know, like, I'm just not gonna die. Right? You can hex this, it's fine. You could also concede. I would also take that. Lightning Storm. Alright. Alright. RNG God. Rolls high on both. Is he gonna... okay, weapons this and trades. This is a value trade if he really wants to take it. Alright. Like, this guy just hasn't drawn a Doom Hammer. I just have answers, right? I just don't really want to play my answers. This is the answer for the 7/7. This delays a turn. There's no merit in playing any of these right now. Because I can't play this. I can't play this without, you know, having to play an over. Alright, sorry friend. The mind games begin now. I'm gonna overdraw like shit, but yeah. Worth. Oh, I should have played Drake first. Never mind, Drake just draws a card. I'm so retarded. I should have waited. I burnt a Fireball. I burnt a Thalanos. I burnt... ooh, I drew Cthulhu. It all worked out. It was all planned. This was all planned.
My hand is
I
full.
wonder what I should do first. Right, in the merits of keeping this video decent length, I'm just gonna continue. But this is an unfavorable matchup. Well, this is at least like a 50-50, right? So, and if he doesn't concede now, he concedes to this. Right?
I'm almost out of cards. We're gonna be rich.
So I don't even feel sorry. Oh, I had him dead. But he just conceded. But yeah, that's the power of the deck. Alright, that was 3 games. I really wanted to play a more grindy control matchup because I think those are the good matchups for the deck. But we faced 2 aggro decks and 1 druid mid-range. I think the Cthulhu deck is a mid-range deck. So, or a tempo deck. Tempo and mid-range. But yeah, I think this deck shines in control matchups. And, or I guess and mid-range. It depends on the mid-range matchup. I think Shaman, well initially I thought Shaman was the worst matchup. Rogue isn't a very good matchup either. That's because they just go off with Auctioneer on turn 6 or 7. Right? And you're never low enough until they just go all face. But, you know, that's also like a 50-50 sort of thing. If you have a block, then you can win. If you have block and Reno, then that matchup becomes a lot more winnable. But with N'Zoth Rogue, I've beaten all N'Zoth Rogues that I've played with today. That being one whole person. So, yeah, this deck's really good. Again, this is the deck list. You can find it on all of the Hearthstone guide websites, those being Reddit, Hearthstone, and Mana Crystals. So, yeah, thank you. This is Sixenm. signing out with another deck. And if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and suggest to me what else you'd like to see. I'd like to keep the channel to a more educational sort of stance, but I do have fun when I'm playing games, and I do just run my mouth and talk my mind. So yeah, let me know what you think about the video, or what you think about the deck. I'm sure Reno and Cthulhu together, there's a deck out there and it's broken. Right, this might not be the final form. They might play Mana Worms and low curve cards just to have a better early game and a worse late game. I just chose to have the better late game, right? I just chose to play Alexstrasza and Archmage over the lower drops, and those do win you a lot of games, right? Especially Alexstrasza. So yeah, alright. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. I mean, I should really get outro music. Yeah, I'll think about that.